Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plum Tales. It is Sunday, March 1st, and tonight our special guest is Mike Smith with his story called The Gutter Gospel. And we're going to learn how what it took to get his story told in a novel format and his goals and journey to bring it to the big screen. So, it looks like we're live, and that's a good test. I'm always happy about that because I'm just learning to live stream, and it's a process. So let's go.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna switch over to, and now let's go to our guest, Mike.
Yes, sir. Ian, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, real good.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your show. I have quite the story to tell, and I know you're somewhat familiar with it.
Yeah,
But
well,
I'll just let you ask the questions, and we'll go from there.
sounds good. Yeah, I'm. We've just started getting to know each other, and you did the application at Plum Tales, which you can find
Yep.
on the join page. And so I'm just starting to get to know you, but I trust your heart and your kingdom mindset and worldview, Christian worldview, and your desire to create an entertaining movie that has a cause and a point to it. So we're over at Plum
Amen.
Tales. Plum Tales is another way of saying parables because the plum, if you see the tie here, the plumb bob always, when you let it stop swinging, it points to true vertical. So we're seeking truth. We're crooked, broken people, but we're trying to tell stories that have redemption and meaning. But we also know that the purpose of a movie is to entertain first. So yeah, Mike, tell us about your story and how you came to be an aspiring filmmaker.
Okay, I'm new to the filmmaking realm of things, but I'm new to quite a few things in my life. I grew up in central Minnesota and had quite the journey. My family of four siblings and myself, and my parents all were living in Sauk Center, so that's in the central part of the state. And when I was 12 years old, my dad was fired from the J.C. Penney clothing store. So long story short, we moved from there up into a little town about a half hour outside of Fargo called Barnesville. And that's where my dad started his own clothing store. And 3 years into that journey, when I was 15, he passed away of a massive heart attack. And that was my first suicide attempt. I'm a two-time suicide survivor, so I wanted to get that out there.
Mm.
And that's just telling the beginning tales of my story and my journey over the course of my life. After high school, I tried college for 1 year and then flunked out of that. So I joined the military. I went Air Force because my dad was an Air Force veteran as well.
Hmm.
So got into the military, got into trouble there because in high school I was getting high and drinking with my best friend, and those habits died hard. I kept getting into that in the military. And 2.5 years into my Air Force journey, I was discharged from the military for using marijuana. I was busted and kicked out by them. So
So that's
I,
a dishonorable discharge, right?
it's a medical
Or
under
medical.
honorable condition disc. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway,
So was there any
I
shame
saw,
involved with that?
yeah, there
How
was a
did that
lot of
affect
shame
you?
involved with that. It was a
Yeah.
tough life coming back to Moorhead and
Mm.
having to work so hard, because I had that scarlet letter on my back. Nobody wanted to hire me. So I had to do heavy construction labor jobs. And when you read into
Oh,
my
so
website
what?
at the at the guttergospel.com, you'll see there's sample chapters on there about having bipolar kick in at an early age in my early 20s. And that's something I have fought my entire life. So the journey took me from that backdrop into years of struggling with mental health. I wound up as a homeless veteran. I wound up going into having two civil commitments placed on me, both in North Dakota and Minnesota. One of the sample chapters in there talks about how I toured hell in a straitjacket in a padded cell for 3 straight days.
Wow.
in the right over the Thanksgiving break of 1999. That's going to be in the movie as well. So it's going to have an altar call at the end of the movie, is the plan, to basically talk about Luke chapter 16, about what it was like to be in hell, and how the rich man was negotiating with Abraham and wanting to, have somebody that had been in hell to go warn his brothers. So I guess that's kind of my story in a really brief
Okay. So
synopsis.
is your story a biography, or is it novelized? And what's your intent with the
Yeah,
movie to make it a?
It's an autobiography that got published by Brooklyn Publishers out in New York.
Nice.
In early 2025. So I would encourage people to pick up a copy on the bottom of the homepage of the website. It's for sale there at $8 a pop. But right now we're getting into more of focusing on it, getting adapted into a film, as you well know, Ian, and that's how we met and why I reached out to your Plum Tales company. I believe in that mission of yours very much so. So we're going to do our part to try and support you guys with Plum Tales once we get up and going with the project. And I'm very honored to have a friend like you in my life now that's kind of showing me the ropes on where to go and giving me the proper guidance to introduce me to someone like Brandon Riley and, those gentlemen that that you worked with.
Yeah, thank you. My career is not exactly well, I've been in the business from different angles for 35 years, but that doesn't mean that I know what I'm doing. There's in every area. There's so many learning curves, but I did start screenwriting in '97. I have a handful of screenplays, and I spent 20 something years in Los Angeles, so I have a lot of relationships, and so if I don't know how to help you, I can definitely point you in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
We're going to try and turn our volume up here. Let's see if that helps.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So good to have a tech support in the background here. So Brandon Riley, just for full disclosure, is a business partner on one of my projects. And that movie's up at Plum Tales, Pray for Mason. But he's a very talented line producer and AD, which is assistant director. And so he goes from job to job, breaking down scripts and doing budgets and helping to package them.
Right.
And then he's a whiz on set for organizing the chaos. And in pre-production, on set, during production, and afterwards wrapping things up. And so part of a package of making a movie is putting together as many elements as you can in advance to remove the risk from the movie to investors. And part of that is having name talent, especially if it's talent that's recognized by sales agents internationally, audiences around the world. So that'll help you sell your movie. Having a director that's got experience in similar budget range and genres as your movie. But in addition to that is having a proper budget, which requires a proper schedule, and having a casting agent on retainer, having a legal on retainer, having the rights to the script. It's called an option agreement. Having that locked up and paid for, which is a fraction of the total purchase price, and all the aspects of getting to that first day of shooting with your full budget. So we're starting there with Brandon giving you some assistance on the schedule and the budget. But who's helping you with writing the screenplay? Are you
Yeah, we got a gentleman on board that Brandon referred me to by the name of do
you want to mention his name, or if you're not under contract, maybe you don't want to mention people's names yet?
Okay, well, I won't. I'll leave that for another day.
Yeah.
So, but I do have a gentleman that's expressed interest, really likes my writing style, and read through the whole book, and happens to be out in Hollywood and a friend of Brandon's. But I won't mention him here. But anyway, We're actually moving pretty good for, only beginning this process about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it's been. So
And do you have
we're
a
getting,
guess at the budget? I mean, and that'd be based on how many
well,
locations and how many shooting days and the hard costs as well as the
yeah,
talent costs
we're
and labor.
we're working on that. That's a big part of what Brandon's going to be putting
Yeah.
together for me. But he did mention to me that he wants to be on a retainer as well, like you were just talking about, Ian. So we're getting that squared away right now with my investment partner that I won't mention here on air either. But
It
nice guy. He goes to
sounds
my
like you
men's groups.
got some financing in your hip pocket.
Yes, sir. So
That's
we're
good.
we're doing good things. We're once things get settled, like you were just mentioning, Ian, we're gonna do a global press release through
Hmm.
ereleases.com. So that's kind of the logical steps we're taking to get it to come to life.
Yeah.
And
And
um,
one of the aspects of packaging a movie is to attach people who have a built-in audience. So that's why you attach
yeah,
stars or existing intellectual property. So the fact that you have a book is a major asset because you can say my
yeah,
movie is based on a book, an existing book, and you have a
yeah,
publisher. Did they put any marketing behind that? Are you starting to get fan
yeah.
mail? How's the audience for your book?
Well, that's a global audience, actually. I was fortunate enough to be on Rockstar Diaries that has an audience of over 50,000 people. We just did a live stream here tonight with them again for the beginning of season 2 premiere. They
Excellent.
called me back as one of their star guests for that
Okay,
performance.
we'll put a link to that in the
And
show notes for our audience.
yeah, and then mention T.S. Wright if you could as well. T.S. Wright has Kingdom Crossroads podcast. He invited me on his show about 3, 4 months ago, and T.S. is such a solid believer, great guy. He's got a global audience of he's in 5 continents and 183 countries. So my podcast appearance with TS reached the biggest audience. So we got a lot of traction out of that appearance, I should say. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, make sure you tell them about Plum Tales because one of the goals of
Yeah.
Plum Tales is there's too many filmmakers trying to do their solo effort by themselves, and if we just help the person on our right, help the person on our left, and
Yes.
promote each other, especially if we're around a similar niche or we're all kingdom
Yeah.
minded. If we all have common goals, maybe we have overlapping audience, and we
That's
can
correct.
help
Yeah.
all ships rise in the tide. So
Yeah, I know that podcasting is really something that's very popular these days, but the truth about it is it really doesn't monetize very well.
mm,
It's more about just trying to get your story told on their guest appearance spots, but nevertheless, it still reaches a lot of people.
yeah.
So that's part of the press release we're putting out there is the performances or guest appearances on those shows. So that's already in the press release mentioning that I have a global audience of have been heard in over 200 countries with my story. So
Oh, that's
within
amazing. Yeah.
within just over a year, yeah.
It sounds like you have some momentum behind you, some wind in your sails.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are relating these days to the mental health challenges,
Hmm.
because mental health is at an all-time high in the world these days with the suicide rates and everything else. So I think it's
Especially
going to be a
among
timely
veterans, right?
project. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very timely project.
Very good. Do you have any encouragement for other storytellers out there on how to get their story told in book form and movie form and what you're learning along the way?
Yeah, I can give them quite a bit of advice. I will share this with you guys. You can always feel free to reach out to me at mike@theguttergospel.com. That's my direct email. And I'd be happy to walk you through the process where I can kind of take you by the hand, show you the shows I've been on the Rockstar Diary show we just did tonight. There was the #1 podcaster in the world for women, Christian women in there by the name of I forget her name, forgive me, I was Nancy something, but anyway, so we had a lot of lot of connections in that live stream tonight. So that's going to be a good source for you people to get started working with Rockstar Diaries. They've got a whole network of people that they're trying to help in the faith-based genre to get their story out there and get it told in both film and books and podcasts and you name it. So that's a great source to start with.
Great. One of the movies that your project reminds me of is a movie called No Address, and it's dealing with homeless and how easy it is for people to become homeless. You know, they run into some debt, they lose their job, and
Yep.
they get evicted, and very quickly they lose, you know, some of their confidence. They have
Yeah.
that extra financial struggle in their families, and then it just
Yeah.
escalates quicker, and mental health escalates quicker too in those situations, because you can't trust
Yeah.
being on the street. You don't have the safety
Right.
to sleep, even get the proper sleep you need for your brain to
That's
function and to
correct.
think properly. So your story
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. You're right. There's a lot of that going on in the world these days, like I mentioned.
yeah. Well, if you have anything else to share, how we can reach you at theguttergospel.com.
Yeah, you can. Mike at theguttergospel.com
That's
is
your
my direct
email.
email.
Okay.
So I would encourage you guys to, I'd be very blessed if you guys could donate on my donate now tab on the far right corner of the website
Okay.
and pick up a copy of my book for $7.99 on the bottom of the homepage. And there's my YouTube channel that you can check out all together, The Gutter Gospel. No, just The Gutter Gospel. It'll pop up. And you'll see some of the sample shows I've done over the past year. With the favorite one I did, I would encourage you to go to the orange box that says Digging Up the Underground. That is a gentleman that's also a veteran out in Virginia, and he got the best out of me because he read the book and before he had me on his show, and he really knew his stuff when he was interviewing me. So yeah, Digging Up the Underground, it's called,
Digging
on
up
my
the underground.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yep,
And just as a reminder, you're going to send me all these links and I'll put them in the show notes, because
I will.
this will get saved
Yep.
on YouTube and last for as long as YouTube lasts, right? So, yeah, we wish you the best. God bless you on your journey. And let's make the movie, because I think it's a
Yeah,
story
I
worth telling.
appreciate. Yeah, I really appreciate you, Ian. I can't thank you enough for all the direction you've given me. I'm looking forward to being able to, like I said, bless you with your Plum Tales ministry. I think you're heading in the right direction with it because, it really should be a team effort. When you're homeless and you don't have anybody to turn to, that's a very lonely feeling and isolating feeling. But, thankfully, we've got people like you helping out and others that are now starting to come on board or show interest. So I'm very blessed these days.
Very good. Yeah, God made us for himself and for each other, and we need each other. That's the way he's designed us. So
Yes,
thank you very
sir.
much. I'm going
Well,
to sign you out and do a couple more notes for everyone else. And let's see
okay,
here.
Ian.
I'm going to switch. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try. How did I do this? Here we go. All right. I don't want to sign you out without putting up a different screen. And we don't want to have a blank screen. So thank you very much, and we'll
Right.
talk on the phone or email. Take care.
Okay. I apologize for those texts because I
Hang on,
tried what you said with
you're
the.
still
I got
live.
an Android.
You're still live. We'll catch
Oh,
up on these details later. We'll side table those. Yep. Okay.
okay.
Take care.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
All right, everyone. That was interesting story, and tune into the plumtales.com calendar to find the next time we post with Mike Smith and the Gutter Gospel movie, and tune in there for all the projects. We're still getting in the habits of creating these opportunities for the audience to interact with the creators, learn about the movies, and one day we'll be taking these live streams onto set and giving you access behind the scenes and all kinds of fun things, contests, competitions, giveaways. So let's see here. I have a little bit of an update on a couple other projects. If you go there and do some research into race car monks, now this is one of my favorite projects. So there's a race car driver, and he's down on his luck on the NASCAR track, and he crashes into a monastery by accident. And the monastery needs funding to keep their real estate. And he says, well, what if he teaches the monks how to be his pit crew? And so it's a mashup. And in my mind, it's a fun mashup, kind of like Happy Gilmore, mashing the worlds of hockey and golf and the comedic conflict involved. So race car monks. We hope to have a discussion with Mike Shields, who's helming that project. And they are about to shoot a proof of concept. They've been doing the research on racetracks to shoot at, and I believe they've locked one in Texas. And he may already be there doing preparations for this short film proof of concept for race car monks. And so that's exciting. And then a little update on Pray for Mason. Pray for Mason is a movie that I'm attached to direct, and I was looking through my notes. This movie has been in development since 2016, and Brandon Riley, it was his idea. He contracted with a writer. He asked me for notes on the script, and I guess he liked my notes because he asked if I wanted to direct it. And in my journey, the movies that I'd been writing had 30 locations, 30 cast, and so I was excited to find mostly one location with 6 cast. And over the years, we had a table read, and our young actors playing the teenagers loved the script. We've been workshopping that and script doctoring it. But the biggest challenge to making a logistically contained movie like this is finding the location. And so we have found a location in Eads, Tennessee, which is a half hour from Memphis. So on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Central, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, check the Plum Tales calendar for that live stream link, and meet the director of photography of that proof of concept, Brandon Lau, and we'll discuss next steps for Pray for Mason. And our new genre that we've learned that is the best way to describe it is survival thriller. So the current poster looks like horror. There's obviously horror elements. It's a drug overdose movie. It's a human turns into a monster movie. It's how do you love your enemy when he's trying to eat you. So there's some zombie tropes in there, but it's really a rescue story where the main character learns that love is stronger than fear. So instead of trying to kill this monster in self-defense, they decide as a group to, how can we save his life? If this drug overdose is causing his brain to melt down, how can we capture him and cool him off so that we can save his life? So there's a lot of themes going on there, but it's a fun story, and it's kind of the movie that I would write. I've been known to write Scooby-Doo on steroids, so we're gonna have fun making it, and I believe it's gonna be a fun watch, and we're gonna include you guys, our audience, in the process. So thank you for joining us. We're going to sign out, and we'll see you on Tuesday or next Sunday at 8 p.m. Central, and that we'll be back here with Plum Tales and hopefully interviewing another creator. Thank you very much.